Hi, I'm Mike. I'm going to be doing replacing the master and slave clutch cylinders on a 1996 Honda Civic. So basically the problem that I'm having is that I push the clutch pedal all the way down to the ground, as you can kind of see there, and then as I let my foot off the gas or the brake, the car starts to move. Also, my shifter is in reverse and I can't get it into neutral. So I have to shut the car off, put it into first, start the car. Again, I let the foot off the brake. Yep, still going backwards a little bit, so we're actually in neutral finally. So I give it a little bit of gas, barely take the foot off the clutch, and I start moving. So that's the problem that I'm having. Anyway, so we're gonna do the replacement of that, see how it goes. Alright, so to do this job, I've got a bunch of my tools set according to what EricTheCarGuy from YouTube said that I should need. So here's what I all gathered. So I've got a 3/8 inch socket with an extension. Then I've got universal bit connected to a 12mm socket. I also have my player kit, so I'll probably need the needle nose pliers and the bent nose pliers for doing the clips and cotter pin. Also got some gloves to work with. I also picked up a metric double end flare nut wrench set. These have the nice round ends on there so I can do the lines. I believe we need the 10mm. I've also got my little headlamp in case I need it. I've got the new master cylinder for the clutch and the new slave cylinder. I also was playing around with a little bit of aquarium tube, which I have connected. I just made a little hole in the top of the bottle and I have the tube going in there. So I'll be using that for the bleed. Got my shop light and some .3 brake fluid, which is also used for the clutch. So I believe that's everything I need, so let's get started. Alright, so here we are under the dash. So we've got the pedals here. We got the clutch pedal, brake pedal, and gas pedal. And if we look at the clutch pedal, we can see here that where the clutch pedal goes in, there's a bunch of goo leaking out of the master clutch cylinder. So that, according to EricTheCarGuy, is bad. So, and he said that eventually, if you leave it and don't fix it, the clutch pedal will go all the way down to the floor and it'll stay there sometime when you're driving. So that is why I am going to attempt to fix this today. So let's get started. So the first thing we got to look for is this little cotter pin here. We can see the cotter pin's got a little blob of grease on it, it looks like. So we'll get that cleaned off. We'll bend those tips of the cotter pin back and pull that out. So according to Eric, this is the hardest part of the whole project, is getting this pin out.
Yeah, these gloves are big.
Yep.
I know that. But
Okay, so we got that kind of bent, so I'll just go grab my pliers and push that out of there.
how about yours?
Alright, I got the cotter pin out. It took a little yanking, bent it with my finger, and then I had to pull it from the the head end, and then I kind of grabbed it from the other side and pushed it through. Eventually got through. It was kind of a little bit of a pain. Anyway, so if we take a peek back underneath here now, you can see the pin that we need to pull out. Oh yeah, it just comes right out. Yep, so there we go. So we just pulled that right out of there. So it was in there this way. Alright. So now our clutch pedal should be free. Yep. Okay, so that means now we can go on the other side and disconnect all the stuff for the master cylinder, and then the 2 bolts that we have are here and here that we need to disconnect later. Okay, so here we are under the hood. So as EricTheCarGuy recommended, we disconnected this tube from here, connected our prop rod into this lower hole, normally it goes up here. So again, we've got the brake master cylinder, and then we've got the clutch master cylinder reservoir. So the master cylinder reservoir has these 2 bolts. Okay. So we got these 2 bolts right here, and then the master cylinder is right there. So we need to disconnect that hose, and then we've got the line, and that'll be it. Alright, let's see if we can do that here.
Don't go into your building.
Okay, so here we go. So we've got the 10mm wrench. So we're going to take off the reservoir. So there's 2 bolts here. Get this one here. Alright, so we got our 2 reservoir bolts. So we're going to put those in the box here. Okay, so that frees up now our reservoir. Now, we're going to move. I don't know if we need to disconnect this guy, but let's see, is that going to be in the way? Well, I'm not going to worry about that for the moment. Alright, so now I need to get my little wrench, or pliers, sorry. So my bent nose pliers here, and I'm going to use that to try to take off the reservoir. Everything kind of seems like it always gets just in the way. I'm gonna use my other pliers here. Okay. Okay, there we go. Alright, so we got that disconnected. Now, let's start working. Alright, well, we're going to leave that for now, and we're going to disconnect that slide. Alright, you can stop that. Yeah.
How do you stop it?
Push red button.
Record again.
Yep. Okay, so now we're going to disconnect the line. So if you take a look down here, you can see the line. Shouldn't have done in there. Okay, so I got my 10 millimeter line wrench here, the flare end. So that comes on here. Alright, you can turn that off. Alright, so I got the line disconnected. Took a while. It was hard to get all of the equipment out of the way. So what I ended up doing was I disconnected this. You just push in a little, or you pull a little tab out, and this thing pulls up. And then I also moved this pipe here over. It was in here, so I just squished it up that way. And I think that was it. So it allowed me to get down in there to get that. Okay, so the next step now, and it is quite hot out here today in Wisconsin, but we're going to be doing those two bolts in the car. So, okay, so here's what we got now. Alright, so the two bolts that we want to remove are here. So that one, and the other one is up here. You can see that. So it's right there. So I'm gonna work on getting those. It's kind of hard to get a video, so I will stop it.